Everyone, welcome back to Nortman Reviews. I'm John. I've been gone for a little bit, but I'm always going to come back to continue Batman the Long Halloween. So every major holiday, you can expect a video from me telling the tale of the Batman as he tries to track down the holiday killer. Again, if this is your first time watching one of these videos, I'm going through this entire book of Batman the Long Halloween, one of my favorite Batman stories and one of my favorite comic book stories of all time. The main story is kind of early days of Batman as he is attempting to stop some family crime syndicates, the Falcones, the Maronis, much like they did in the Dark Knight movies and the new Batman movie. And alongside that, there's a serial killer called the Holiday Killer, who every holiday kills somebody, murders somebody on that holiday, starting in Halloween. That's why it's called the Long Halloween. Murders somebody, and then Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's. So now we're in March. So what is the major holiday? If today, that day is St. Patrick's Day. So I hope you're having a great St. Patrick's Day. Hope you're doing something fun. Usually involves some kind of, drinking and partying and having a good time. I will not be doing that. This being on a Monday and me having a child, that is just not in my cards. So maybe sometime in the future, but not right now. But hopefully you'll have a good holiday. So here we go. We're picking up on St. Patrick's Day. Where we last left off was kind of a major point, with Bruce Wayne seemingly falling under the spell of Poison Ivy. That was where the Valentine's Day story ended. Catwoman was present, and she's like, wait, why is Bruce, who they were kind of going on date and, doing stuff with, and he kind of ditched her, and she's like, wait, what the fuck? So Poison Ivy now has Bruce under her spell, but as far as I know, she has no idea that he's Batman, and they're going to explain what her motivation is in this whole thing. So we start off at seemingly some kind of prison door with these creepy eyes looking through, and this guy's telling them to step away. And yeah, they're escorting somebody out of the Gotham Penitentiary. They talk about early parole and you'll be back. Some creepy settings here. I forgot to mention this is written by Jeff Loeb, who's done a bunch of written good comic books. He's done Batman Hush, which is kind of in continuity with this book. And they're doing him and Jim Lee, who drew that, are doing a sequel. So maybe we'll look at that. And then Tim Sale, who has unfortunately passed away, has done all the art. And Tim Sale is kind of an acquired taste. He's definitely more story based in his art than. I mean, he has great technical skill. That's not what I was going to say, but he's not flashy. I use that word all the time in an age where people like Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld were all kind of a big rage. And then you move on to some of, like a Joe Madureira, J. Scott Campbell kind of art style. This doesn't have a lot of detail, often not a lot of backgrounds. Like, look, this is just simple lightning. You kind of get where it is and someone coming out of this gate. I love this. It definitely sets a mood for this book. So who is this person? Again, simple drawings of this rain from this bird eye view perspective, going down, getting into this car, going into this building, and going to the Roman Carmine Falcone, the head of the Falcone Empire, right? The Holiday Killer is going after the crime bosses, the crime lords and the Falcones and the Maronis. That's who the Holiday Killer is targeting. So they hug, and it's a woman. And she says, "I've missed you, Papa." And he said, "You've been away for too long, daughter. Your family needs you. I need you, my Sophia." And then it talks about it doesn't explain who she is, but this is the Roman's daughter. Now, if you watched the Penguin series, which I highly recommend, I was not excited for that movie at all. Like the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson and the Penguin by Colin Farrell that was in that movie. Like I liked that movie more or less, but it wasn't one of my favorites. But Colin Farrell's portrayal as the Penguin, especially in that series, was really good, spot on. He won an award for it, which is very justly deserved. But anyways, Sophia that character was in that show. She was a major, major part of that show. She's much different in that show than she is here. This version of Sophia is, you can see, she's kind of a bigger woman. She's tall, she's bulky, she's strong, she's dangerous. Without giving too much away for future storylines, not in this book, but another book that I might get to at some point, they called Sophia the Hangman, and that kind of is a callback to a different story in the follow-up to this book called The Dark Victory. I'm kind of getting off track. But there's Sophia, and it doesn't say here, but this is the Roman's daughter, and she's kind of an enforcer, I guess. We'll kind of see some of the shit she does. So there's no text boxes in here saying, in a dark and gothic night, a lone prisoner is taken out of a cell and the cops quiver at the mere mention of her name. None of that shit, right? It's all just told through the art. But they do have these text boxes down here, which is usually in the inner thoughts of Batman or Bruce. They're kind of their monologue. So yeah, here's Bruce Wayne, and he's mentioning it's March, and it's the monthly board meeting of the Gotham City Bank, and he's like, I hear the words coming out of my mouth, but they sound like as if someone else were speaking. And he goes on to say, after consideration, oh, Rusty's here. Hey, buddy. How are you doing, my dude? Yeah. Oh, he just feels he's never loved, and whenever I do a video, this is when he needs to take his opportunity. Okay, there's his tail, just so you know he's here. I don't want to... Here, come here, buddy, so everyone can see you. Oh, my God. Look at you. He's so cute, but then he gets in the way of the video as soon as I get on a stride of talking about something. But there's the cat. Rusty the cat. All right. Jesus, cat. Rub my belly and love me, and then when you do, I will clamp down on you like a bear trap and get you with 5 points. All right. So anyways, Bruce, in words that he feels doesn't come from himself, he's like, after a lot of consideration, that the Falcone Import should do business with Gotham City Bank, and Gotham City Bank should do business with Falcone Imports. He says, I've given the go-ahead on a wire transfer of $350 million as requested by Carmine Falcone. And they're like, oh, this is great, these board members or whoever they are. They're like, this is gonna be huge for us, but like, this is unlike you to reverse your position. And he says, I've had a change of heart. And he gets the elevator and leaves. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. He gets in the elevator, closes, there's a shadow there. I don't know. And he continues to say in kind of his mind, he's like, my mind may be foggy, but I am at peace, lost somehow in the green. So he's leaving the bank, and there's Selina Kyle, Catwoman. And she's calling out to Bruce, and he's ignoring her. And she's like, hello, it's me. And she catches a glimpse of, inside this limo, this hand and a bunch of leafy shit. And she automatically knows it's Ivy, Poison Ivy. Buddy. Oh, I love you. But you gotta go. So now we cut to Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent. Now, Harvey Dent is just the district attorney. He's not Two-Face at all in this book. And they're looking at crime scene photos, and they're trying to take down the Falcone and Maroni empires, and they're working with Batman. That's kind of the main part of the story that they established early on. Where is it? Here we go. Which is very reminiscent of The Dark Knight, right? They took a lot of inspiration from this book. And they're looking at all these dead bodies, and Harvey Dent is like, oh, this is kind of like good that they're taking out each other. They're doing our jobs for us by killing each other. And then Gordon, he's like, our jobs? Like, I want to take them out, but I don't want people to die. I don't want this bloodshed. He's like, of course, don't give it a second thought. And then they're also starting to suspect Bruce Wayne is involved in cooperating with Falcone. They don't know anything about the Ivy situation. Even before that, they kind of had Dent had their suspicions. They're like, what are we going to do about Wayne? And, I don't know, Gordon just kind of starts to be a grumpy Gus. I mean, I would be too in this situation. He's talking about how it's St. Patrick's Day and things used to be green. You would think of green and everything and all the time when this holiday came around. But now in Gotham, they're starting to think it's red, blood red from all the killing and this holiday killer. Like, they cannot figure out who the holiday killer is. It's just beyond them. And then you got this little shit right here who is an assistant DA working in the district attorney's office, but he is definitely working for Falcone or Moroni. One of them, I can't remember which, giving them inside information. Now, we cut to this gun, and if you recognize this gun, they talk about it here, but this is the same gun that the holiday killer uses. He does has the same kind of motif in every killing, uses the same .22 caliber gun. As it's like this, because it's supposed to be lightweight, easy for a woman to use, they say. This woman is Carla Viti, the Roman sister. So she's part of the crime lord family. And her son was killed. Not in front of her, but like she was very near. So she's fucking pissed off, right? And she's confronted by Sophia. But they're happy to see each other, and Sophia's just kind of like following up on leads and stuff like that. Carla shows her the gun. She says, I forgot to give it to the cops when your brother Alberto was killed on New Year's Eve. Same gun was used to kill my son Johnny on Halloween. That was the first killing that was done, her son. So it's kind of subtly trying to give you, the reader, an indication that maybe Carla here is the killer, especially early on in the book. First, where is it? It was right here. You see this scene as the holiday killer is preparing. They're always wearing these white gloves, kind of like Mickey Mouse. And they were in a workshop of some kind, and they were drilling on or grinding off the serial numbers of the gun so you couldn't track it. But you see they're like working on a workbench, a workshop, right? They have you kind of believe that maybe it was Dent here, at a workshop suddenly. But here, she's at a workshop as well. So they're dropping hints and giving clues to who the killer might be. I definitely know who it is. If you know in the comments, don't say it, but I'm kind of curious if you hadn't read the book, or if you haven't read the book at all, do you think you might know who it is? If you have read the book, do you remember the first time you read it? At this point, did you know who the killer was? I honestly didn't know who the killer was until they revealed it. And even then, it had you guessing until almost the very last page. So it's a very good mystery. I wish they could adapt this into some kind of movie. They did a 2-part animated series or animated movie. I've watched it twice, and I just remember it just not being anywhere near as good as this, storyline wise, at the very least. So Sophia basically is telling Carla that they're going to hit Maroni on St. Patrick's Day. So they're just kind of setting up that event that's going to be happening, giving us the reader the information. So we cut to Wayne Manor. My father's house, life is good, I'm in the green. And so there's Bruce at this long table there's fucking Poison Ivy. And she says, you still have a healthy appetite, Bruce. You'll need it for what? What's she going to do to him? Probably not what we all think and hope she would be doing. But then she says, you feel a draft? And I like this indication of the candles here, like the wind blowing through as if like a window or a door is open. Because BAM! There's Catwoman. You're mine, Poison Ivy. All mine. She's ready to fuck some shit up. Great double page spread. Did she land? I don't know where she came from. Doesn't matter. There she is. She's going after there. I kind of don't like this design of Catwoman. This weird mask, these big mousy ears, and this fucking tail. I thought it would be easy for Bruce Wayne to grab it right there and yank on it. You know what I mean, Cat? He's like, fuck you, don't yank on my tail. That's not cool. So, nice kick to the face to fucking Poison Ivy. She's gonna fucking take her out, but Bruce, being in control, under the influence of the green, grabs her. And again, I don't know if Catwoman knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. I don't know. I don't think so. He knows she's Catwoman, Selena Kyle, but vice versa, I don't know. And she's like, you've lost control, Wayne. You're doing things you wouldn't or shouldn't. So they kind of have this fight, and she slashes at him. Rips his clothes. And this is kind of a weird and jarring scene, right, Rusty? And he has all this fucking foliage and plant life and whatever inside him. And I think it's just under his shirt. And that's how Poison Ivy is controlling him. She's like, oh, hell. So she starts ripping and shredding that shit off of him. Ordinarily, I might enjoy this. And then he kind of passes out the green into her arms. But Ivy is gone. Catwoman yelling for her, but she's gone. Now, we suddenly cut to these scenes in black and white. And when you see these scenes, like, I've talked about this in almost every video, but the colors aren't very vibrant in this book, which is good for this storyline. But when it goes to this, like, black and white or monotone kind of color here, that's when the holiday killer is going to strike. So, looks like this is 5 a.m. because they said it was going to be St. Patrick's Day morning. Anyways, all these bullets go through, like, start shooting through this door. These guys are getting fucking murdered. Putting the magazine in this gun, and it's hitting the chandelier above it, and it comes crashing down. And the holiday killer always leaves a memento of the holiday at the scene of the crime. So there's this little St. Patrick's Day leprechaun figurine here, along with the gun that the killer always leaves, and this baby bottle nipple that they put on the tip of this gun, which suppresses the noise like a silencer. I don't know how much that works. St. Patrick's morning, Gotham City, about less than 15 minutes later, Sophia comes driving up. And this is Maroni's safe house. And Sophia, they were gonna, Falcones were gonna do this, but she's like, someone beat us to the punch. This changes everything. And Maroni was up in the upper level or second floor or whatever, and sees something. The car sees Sophia, thinks she's Holiday, I guess. I don't know. That night, Bat symbol in the air. Someone turns it off. It's Batman. He's there with Catwoman. She's hanging out. And he says it's not a toy. And he's like, but thank you. And she says, for what? Because Bruce Wayne is a friend. Oh, so, oh yeah, she used this. She called Batman here. Yeah. And then Batman's like, why do you help? Why do you do this? She's been very helpful at certain times. And she says, in time, you'll see. And then Batman continues to talk about he's no longer in the green. Poison Ivy's out of my system, but she made me do a lot of stuff. With the bank and my reputation, he's got to fix some shit. But, you know, he owes Catwoman. He's willing to give it to her. And then there's these two people talking off screen. Everyone is against the idea. We have a policy of not working with your kind. There's an exchange of money. That was my computer. And it says, Miss Ivy, if there's one thing I've learned in this business, to expect the unexpected. So Falcone made a deal with Poison Ivy, and she used Bruce Wayne, to do a bunch of stuff for Falcone, and that's what they were talking about here. If it hadn't been for Catwoman, there's much we could have accomplished. So that's the end of the book. The next one is going to be on April Fool's Day, so be on the lookout for a video on April Fool's Day. Yeah, that's St. Patrick's Day. Each issue is not an amazing, crazy story, but when you read them together, this story was really captivating to me. I was really, really into it the first time I've read it. I've read it several times since. I think it's just a very well done story. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. These videos don't get a lot of views or anything like that, which is fine. I'm going to continue doing it up until, you know, next Halloween when it ends. But I hope you guys are enjoying these. Please give the video and the channel a like and subscribe if you're new. Feel free to comment. I'd love to know your thoughts about it. And if you have any theories about who the holiday killer might be, you know, throw them in the comments. Let's start a conversation. Thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video.